Alrighty. Oh, shit. You're going to start this one.
Alrighty.
No, take my words right out of my mouth. It's fine. I'm kidding.
Ladies and gentlemen, please take your seats. The show is about to begin.
Welcome back to the Question
Answer?
podcast. I'm Asante,
And I'm Nicole.
and once again we're gonna be playing a trivia game. One not made by us.
No, we're not that clever yet.
Yeah, not yet, but someday.
The more you tell people to listen, the more money we make, and then the more we'll be able to create one day. Not to be a greedy, money-hungry bitch.
Give us money. Today we have 5 games that we're gonna play all 5 games in a row. No.
So strap in.
we have a wheel here, and we're gonna pick which game to play. We're gonna spin the wheel. Maybe there'll be a fun little sound effect that will be picked up. Maybe we'll add it in post. We'll see whatever gets picked up by the mic. But here we go.
Do you want to give the options first?
You are so correct. It might be good to know what we're spinning on. Okay, so the 5 games are delightfully useless trivia, brain fart, things they don't teach you in school, poppycock, and incredibly pointless trivia. And we'll explain whichever one we play when we spin it. But here we go. Things they don't teach you in school. So,
Yay! Oh my god, this audience is rowdy.
yeah, damn, all right. You're going to get a noise complaint.
All right, so things they don't teach you in school.
Alrighty.
Great. I've never played this. Have you played this before?
I played it a while ago. I haven't played it in
Okay.
a long time.
This is brand new information to me. We used to sell this game at Barnes & Noble. I know that.
Oh, really?
Yep. They have multiple different versions, I think.
Do you want to play to 11 again?
Yeah, let's play till 11. Not PM, like 11, the number 11.
Give it up for 11 p.m.
We ring a bell when it hits midnight.
24-hour trivia marathon.
That would be so fun.
That would be.
We're gonna do that at
That
some
would be a
point.
great charity stream.
Yes! Oh my god. That would be when we have video.
Yeah.
You guys will see the 24-hour stream.
When we have the millions of fans and video capabilities, we'll do a 24-hour live stream. At goals, we'll have costumes.
Ooh. Yeah.
We'll have punishments for getting things wrong.
I thought you were gonna say puppets.
We can have puppets.
We can have puppets too.
That's not off the table.
Alright, so this game basically just another simple question answer. It's almost like it's our name.
That's us. That's us. We said the thing. Roll credits. All right, that's been Question Answer Podcast.
We'll see you next episode. Yep, another simple question answer game, and we're playing to 11 points.
Yeah.
I guess. Do you want to go first, or do you want me to go first?
You can go first.
Okay. So
There's no different category stacks this time, so it's just
okay.
I'll pick from a pile.
Sure.
All right. Who made the first phone call to the moon? This is
Blinded by Science all over again.
these questions are some like trivia with Steve level, like who is gonna.
Oh my god, this is terrible. I don't know. It was some man, of course,
Okay.
but his name was. Let's go with the president.
Okay.
I'm gonna go with. Ooh. Which president to choose? Ooh. I'm gonna go with. Oh, wait, I'm so sorry. The name I was gonna say. Wait, no. Okay. I'm gonna go with Eisenhower.
You're on the right track with the president. Little after Eisenhower, Richard Nixon.
Damn it. I was gonna actually say Winston Churchill, which after saying that I was gonna name a president and going with Winston Churchill would have been just so shameful of me. So
That would have been the funniest answer. Because I heard the like W come out, and I really thought, you're not gonna say Washington, are you?
George Washington, who didn't even have a phone.
All right.
Whew.
What is the difference between whiskey and whiskey? One spelled with a Y and one spelled with an EY.
Not pictured or not being able to sound it out, but I'm sobbing. I think the difference is that one is a t-shirt brand.
I get what you're going for. The drink spelled with a Y, or the drink is spelled with just a Y in Scotland, and whiskey with an EY in the US.
Good for them.
Next question. Can insects fart?
Yes.
No.
Oh, of course not.
Unlike mammals, they have no methane-producing bacteria in their digestive system. Lucky us.
Lucky me getting all the science questions again.
How long must you wait to get tested for HIV after having unprotected sex for the results to be reliable?
2 weeks?
6 weeks after contact.
Oh my god. What? How is that safe?
I don't know.
That cannot be safe. Well, no wonder this society is this way. They don't care about these things. There has to be another way.
There must be. Huh. This is why we need a fact checker on board.
I know.
Because I'm I'm inclined to believe it, but I'm also like, I will say there is a caveat in the rules that I was reading that's like, the game was printed at a certain time and that the game recognizes things may be different.
That's true. That answer might not be entirely correct, but either way, I still got it wrong. So it's fine. Your turn. What is the average life expectancy in the country with the world's highest overall life expectancy? I'm so sorry about that. I did not write this.
98.
Incorrect. 89. 89
Of course
years,
it would be.
and the country is Monaco.
Oh, good for Monaco.
Good for them. What does wiki mean in the internet-based encyclopedia Wikipedia?
Now, this really is something they don't teach you in school.
Yeah.
I have no idea. I have never even considered that it was anything other than just like, oh, this is fun.
Do you have any guesses? No.
Wiki comes from quick. It's Wiki Encyclopedia. Wikipedia.
That gave no origin to the actual name, but wiki is Hawaiian for fast.
I was kind of there.
Were you?
Quick encyclopedia, and it just means fast. I was at Fenway Park, but I was like outside.
Okay, fair enough. Okay, this is great for us living in the U.S. How many people are murdered every day in the U.S.?
Now, this is a great question that would have changed with time. Because
yes,
the
it
80s,
would.
the answer is like triple, quadruple digits, probably. Now, I would say maybe like in the entire U.S. daily, I'm going to go with like 20.
45, approximately. Still a lot.
That's almost one per state a day.
Yeah, that makes sense. Shouldn't, but it does for us.
They're probably like Kansas and like Wyoming, where it's like nothing ever happens. No one's even there.
Yeah, but then you have like
New
Detroit.
York. Yeah.
All right. Is there only one sign language for deaf people that is used globally?
No.
Correct. Back to me.
How far from the toilet should you keep your toothbrush so that airborne particles do not contaminate it?
Let's go with 8 feet.
At least 6 feet. So I'll give you 8 feet.
Goddamn COVID-19 rules.
COVID poop. How many languages are there in the world?
I'm gonna go with 154.
Approximately 6,800.
Oh! Oh.
Can wolves bark?
That fucking crow.
Can crows
If
bark?
only I had a BB gun. I'm kidding.
They'll shoot your eye out.
So true. I almost said can crows bark. Can wolves bark? No.
Yes.
They can?
They rarely do so, though.
I was thinking of like a yelp. I didn't know if that was the same as a bark.
In what city did Quentin Tarantino write the screenplay for the hit film Pulp Fiction?
Chicago.
Amsterdam.
Oh. Yeah. That makes sense.
Dutch-inspired film.
Yeah,
Pulp
I probably
Fiction.
should have guessed that. What is currently the most common method of capital punishment in the U.S.? Jesus Christ. Murder. Jesus.
Lethal injection?
Yes. Yes, it is. Whew. Is it true that the higher the level of education you have, the less likely you are to be unfaithful?
No.
No. People who have a higher education level and higher incomes are more likely to be unfaithful than people who are less successful. Can a turtle that has ended up on its back roll back over by itself?
Every piece of fiction I've ever seen would lead me to believe no. But I feel like the answer is probably yes.
So what's your final answer?
I'm going to say yes, but you just have to be patient. You have to give us some time.
Yes, they can. Good for them. This is a crazy question. Worse than capital punishment. No, I'm kidding. Well, can you cremate a dead person with silicone breast implants, or must they first be taken out?
I should know this because I deal
because you cremated someone.
Because I've cremated someone with breast implant. No, I think you have to take them out first.
No, you can cremate a person with silicone breast implants.
Huh.
Which seems odd because isn't silicone like, doesn't it?
I think...
Well, it's not heat resistant, but like...
I think it has silicone has a very high like melting point, which is why it's used in a lot of electronics because they can get really hot. But for some reason in my head, like implants like weren't that level of like silicone, so like that...
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
it can't be good for the environment. I mean, cremation is the worst for the environment anyway. But like, anyway, it doesn't matter. Well, it does, but like...
Throwing a little plastic into the...
Yeah. Cremation.
What should you do if you are welcomed with a round of applause in China?
Bow.
You should reciprocate and clap back.
Oh. Clap back.
Yeah,
bitch!
Which... you can tell that this game's written a few years back because like that... Not that, like, clap back is, like, immediately, like... But that is taken on a little bit of a different meaning. I had to draw this one.
You have to draw the next one?
In Europe and the United States, you write a smiley face like... This is a crazy question because what do you mean?
Okay.
In Europe and the United States, you write a smiley face like this. Artist rendering incoming. Like on a keyboard.
Europe and the United States.
Presumably on a keyboard, I believe. How are smiley faces indicated in Japan? If you'd like to draw it out. You can take a picture of the drawings and add them into the post of the audio.
Yeah, true. Add it to the Instagram. It's just two smiley faces.
For the audio listeners at home, the European and United States version is what seems to be a colon, a hyphen, and a parentheses, making a smiley face, if you can imagine.
Okay, I'm gonna kind of like think about it how it would be on a keyboard. Like that. Like the little eyes with the carrots instead. But I'm missing something underneath. Like, so what I have written, everybody, is a parentheses, like an open, and then two carrots to represent the eyes, and then the closed parentheses. But I don't have a mouth, so I feel like that's where I've strayed.
I think I'll give you the point because you're right that you're missing the mouth, but importantly, you have it's two carrots like you had, but separated by an underscore.
Oh.
Or maybe a hyphen if the carrots are a little
gotcha.
higher.
Interesting. Okay, well.
But you had the carrots right.
Yeah, that's true.
Do babies have kneecaps?
No, and it's awful. Because what? Get out.
Correct.
They have to grow their kneecaps. What the fuck is that?
Babies don't have a conventional kneecap, but instead a growth composed of cartilage. The ossification process is slow and will replace the cartilage when the child is 3 to 6 years old.
Babies are disgusting. I'm so sorry. I find babies so freaky. They are aliens in our modern world. I just could not imagine having a child and with the knowledge that it doesn't have kneecaps.
It's not done building itself.
It's not done cooking. Like, ew. No, I can't. No, thank you.
Babies are really weird.
Gross.
What do you call a walkie-talkie in French? I'm looking at the camera, but...
The invisible camera with this fucking crow. You would call it... I don't know any French words.
It's not in French, surprisingly.
Oh.
It's stupid, but it's not in French.
I have no clue.
A talkie-walkie.
Oh, so just the opposite.
Yeah.
Okay.
And that's why people hate the French.
A talkie-walkie? Okay, speaking of different countries, what is a cell phone called in Italy? In Italian, I apologize. Same thing.
Well, I don't think it's going to be a phone cell.
No.
Although that might be what they call cell phones in France. Telefono.
Telefonio. I mean, you can probably have that. It's pretty close.
I think I just gave telephone in Spanish.
Yeah, true. If you want that point, I'll give that point to you.
We'll see if I get any other points legitimately. Otherwise, I may bank on the
okay.
Off.
All right. What two colors confuse colorblind people most easily?
Red and green?
Correct. What city has the most skyscrapers in the world?
Lots of cities. I can think of a lot that probably aren't the answer. I want to say I'm going to go with Hong Kong.
That is correct. Hong Kong.
Huge Hong Kong poll.
By how much does the total population on Earth increase each year?
10 million?
No, approximately 70 million.
That's crazy.
Ooh, gross. That's crazy.
I'll take the 2 legitimate points.
Okay. Amazing.
As a apology to our huge Italian audience that we have. What percentage of people yawn if they see someone else yawn?
80%.
Approximately 50%.
That's it. They're liars.
What country consumes the most coffee per capita?
Italy.
Finland.
What the fuck? Why?
In what decade was a tan considered modern for the first time?
A tan? Let's go with 1970.
It was the 1920s.
Oh, interesting.
They said, come on, we're going to go get a tan. No one look at the stock market. It's doing fine.
That's what they say now.
Except we don't have any transatlantic accents anymore, so it's just
true.
not as fun and whimsical.
It said, don't look at the stock market.
Why do you get colds in the winter? Because the winter is cold.
Yeah, what the fuck? Because... What was that?
Did the sun just...
Blink?
Turn on and...
You saw that too, right?
Yeah.
Oh my god, what?
That might have been Katy Perry's spaceship passing over the sun really quickly.
Breaking news. Katy Perry's spaceship crashes into the sun.
We both just the only light illuminating this room is the sun, and I think it just blinked.
I thought I blinked to missed something, but then what the fuck? Does anyone have an explanation for that phenomenon? We'll figure it out.
We're not going to question it. If the sun blinked, the sun blinked.
You'll be updated in the next episode. Okay, what the fuck was the question?
Why do you get more colds in the winter?
There's a lack of warmth. I don't know.
Because it's cold.
Because the sun is blinking.
In the summer, some viruses' particles are killed by the sun's UV light. People also stay indoors more in the winter, which leads to closer contact with other people.
All right. In which direction do most people tilt their head when they kiss someone?
To the right.
Correct. How many cities in the world have a population of more than 1 million people?
Part of me wants to say all of them, but I know that the classification for a city is not 1 million people. How many cities are there in the world, one may ask? And that is an even more confusing question. 400.
330. So close.
Every time I get one wrong, I lose a little piece of my soul.
The sun blinks one more time.
Every time you get a trivia question wrong, the sun blinks.
I'm sorry. In my head, I was like, imagine if it was like a bird that flew by, and then I was like, that bird would be a dinosaur-sized bird to make the sun blink. Oh my god. What probability of death is associated with attempting to climb Mount Everest? This is less than I thought.
I'm going to go with 50%.
Approximately 4%.
Huh.
I'm very shocked at that. The word avocado comes from the Aztec language. Sorry about the pronunciation here, everybody. Comes from the Aztec language. Now, maybe I should look it up. This sounds like it's going to be offensive coming out of my mouth.
Nahuatl.
Nahuatl?
Nahuatl.
Nahuatl. Okay. From the Aztec language, Nahuatl. What was the source words slang meaning? What was the source words slang meaning?
Oh.
Oh.
Testicles.
Yes.
How much time does a woman spend in front of mirrors over the course of her life?
This is awful.
This is a crazy question.
30%.
Time.
Oh, the time question?
Well, how much time? That is a reasonable answer, but the answer is
In my head, I fully heard you go, what percentage of time? So, how much time?
How much time does a woman spend in front of mirrors over the course of her life?
In their whole life? How many, hours, or is it in hours?
It's kind of like when it's how many, you spend 4 months of your life sleeping, or whatever it is. It's one of those questions.
But this one's in hours.
Yeah.
I
can't give the
parameter.
Yeah, it's not hours. It's
bigger than
but
that.
It is blank, and then a larger
I don't know, 4 months.
According to this is not my opinion. This is the card saying this. An average of 2 years.
Interesting. I feel like that would be the average of any person. Because like think about how many mirrors, reflective devices are all around us.
I'm also I guess like compared to like what? Because it's like
to men, I guess maybe. I don't know. Yeah, I guess compared to what? This is a stupid fucking question.
What does eating licorice affect? How does eating licorice affect the taste of white wine?
It makes it more bitter.
It actually does the opposite of that. It reduces the bitterness and makes it sweeter.
God!
Why is white chocolate white when cocoa is brown? You can't ask someone that.
Things that seem racist but aren't. White chocolate is not actually from like a cocoa bean. Like white chocolate isn't chocolate. So
Yes. No, this is another example of me not being able to like read the question. White chocolate is made from cocoa butter mixed with sugar, milk, and vanilla. I was reading it as white chocolate is made from cocoa butter mixed with and I was like, oh, what is it? It just said so yeah, it's not made with cocoa. It's made with cocoa butter.
Yeah, which
I don't know the difference, but as far as I'm concerned,
but I know that like it's not the same. Like they're not
right.
Chocolate.
So you got that one right.
Okay.
You said white chocolate is not, it's pretend chocolate. The Basenji dog breed is believed to be over 12,000 years old, and it has a very unusual feature. What is it?
Is it the one with the weird nose, the snout? A strange snout.
Incorrect. Basenjis cannot bark.
Oh, that's so sad.
Poor doggy.
Poor dog.
Well, if wolves can bark, does that, well, I guess it's 12,000 years. Does that mean,
so they're older than wolves?
I don't know if it's necessarily that.
Oh.
But I am like, because wolves have been around for way longer than 12,000 years, surely.
Yeah.
But I'm trying to figure out like where like the branch off becomes and like what other things can't bark and are they closer to Basenji than wolf and da 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 da. But that's.
And are Basenji closer to like a non-dog?
I don't know.
Dinosaur. Did you see that they're trying to bring back the dire wolf?
I did, and it's like just not a dire wolf. But
no, but of course it's not. Like,
they're like, we brought back the dire wolf. It's like you made big wolves.
Yeah, which is equally as terrifying. Well, not really. I feel like a dire wolf is 10 times scarier than anything else.
I like the ethical question that it brings up. Not even necessarily of like, should we be doing this, but it's like an extinction just happens sometimes. Like, yeah. Sometimes it's like man-made. Sometimes it's like, you know what, dog? A meteorite is just colliding with our and there's like nothing you can do. And it's like, should we like even like, is it within our rights to even do that? And it's like, oh,
I feel like it's not.
One thing I would fully support though is, can we figure out a way to create an insect that would remove the need for mosquitoes in the ecosystem and just we can get rid of them.
I would love that.
I know that they're important, and every summer I look up, can we just get rid of mosquitoes? And the answer is like, well, no, because they're but like, can we create like lab bug to replace them and just get rid of the mosquitoes?
I would love that so much.
That would be perfect.
They are hell. They're from hell. All right. How many people were there on Earth when Jesus was born? Jesus was seen. Where, Rachel?
700 million.
Approximately 300 million.
Damn.
How many weddings are held in Las Vegas every day?
1,000.
Over 300, so yes.
I'll take it.
What food costs almost exactly as much today as it did over 100 years ago? This is one of those questions where I know that it costs more now. In this economy, it costs more.
100 years ago. I was going to say something like water, but that's not true. Milk.
No. Salt.
Huh.
Which, calling that a food, interesting.
Yeah.
I would not call it that.
That's like one of those things where
that's like a fucking element. So,
like, yes, you do and can eat salt, but if you were to ask me to like list every food that exists on Earth, salt's not making that list.
No. Maybe 100 years ago.
Maybe.
It's just a salt lick.
Yeah, you sit down with your steak, potatoes, your big old chunk of salt.
All right, how far can sperm swim in 1 hour?
30 feet.
10 centimeters.
Damn.
30 feet?
In an hour, I was like, oh, give it time. Like, if you're patient.
This game is slower.
I do like these questions
Me
a lot
too.
more, though. Can a person who is completely bald have dandruff?
Yes.
Yes. Although it is more common in people with hair. When did the world's first website go online?
I'm either going to aim really high or really low again. So I'm going to say 1972.
A little earlier, August 6th, 1991.
Damn.
Yeah.
1991?
We have the first website.
You're telling me there wasn't a www
No, that
in
like,
the 80s?
No.
That's bullshit.
That kind of like is what leads into the .com, like Y2K, like, well, no, Y2K is entirely different. I have no idea what I'm talking about. But yeah.
That's crazy.
Websites are new.
That's insane.
There are some people that you know that are, I mean, obviously, this is not like a crazy statement, but like some people that like you wouldn't think are older than a website.
Insane.
What day and what time represent the greatest risk for a couple in a relationship to fight?
It seems like another horrible question. I'm going to go with the typical couple day, which is February 14th.
No, that's not quite what they're asking.
Oh.
In general, what day and what time represent the greatest risk for a couple in a relationship to fight?
Like day of the week?
Yeah.
What the fuck?
This is like asking you to like tune in to a divorce.
A day of the week.
And a time.
And a time of the week. I'm going to go with... What the hell? I'm going to go with Wednesday at 2 p.m.
Well, if you tune in on Thursdays at 8 p.m., that's when apparently most people get into fights.
Great.
Which I can only think, is it because they're arguing over who's going to get kicked out of Big Brother? For all my Big Brother fans out there. Thursdays are the live evictions at 9. I almost just read the answer to the next one.
Wait, so are you watching Celebrity Big Brother right now?
I'm not, but I've heard the
Chaotic.
Yeah.
And I don't even watch it, but I get updates from TikTok. And first it was all the Mickey Rourke stuff, like how horrible he was.
Right.
But I think he got kicked off.
Mm-hmm.
And then now everyone's talking about the controversy with JoJo and that guy Chris. Because they, like, were cuddling at night. And everyone's like, JoJo has a girlfriend, first of all.
I don't really watch, like, the celebrity versions
Okay.
of them a lot. Sometimes, like, if the U.S. does one, I will, but, like... But that shockingly happens a lot, where, like, they'll cast someone, and then they're like, all right, like, I think it was, like, this last, like, season of Big Brother, like, some guy just said the N-word. And, like, in such, like, an like, he was just having a super casual conversation, and, like, it just came out, and he was like, oh, my bad. And he was, like, talking to two Black House guests, and they were like, and, like, they immediately, like, kicked him out. But I'm just, like, that happens, like, not infrequently. That, like, someone will say something unhinged, and you're like, they need to get the hell out of here.
I mean, like, I'm kind of glad that they do. I'm not glad that he said it, but, like, it's good to know what kind of person that person is. Because, like, we've gone all this time, especially with, like, Mickey Rourke, which I don't know. I don't know a lot about him, but, like, him saying all that horrible shit, too. I was like, I'm glad I know now that he's a horrible person.
Yeah.
Like, this is confirmation of that, I guess. But, I mean, I don't expose yourself as a horrible person in that way ever, actually.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
And I will say, I don't agree with this, because I don't know if I would greenlight this. But I do know that there have been couples in the past, or, well, someone will be on Big Brother, and granted, whatever they say versus, like, what is true, I don't know, but they're like, my partner gave me permission to, like, flirt a little bit if it means, because it is a game of, like, social, like, if you can
but
manipulate.
It's not Love Island.
Well, absolutely. right, but, like, it is, like, if you can get close to someone like that, and they, like, will take you to the end because of it, and you're like, actually, I have a partner, and, like, it sucks, but that could get you to win.
I know. And I feel bad, because I don't want to hate on JoJo, because she gets enough hate.
Yeah.
Like, she really does. And I don't think she's a bad person. She's done some cringe shit, but, like, that doesn't make you a bad person.
Cringe,
yeah. But I'm like, she's also really young, too. So, like, she can do whatever she wants. I don't really care. As long as she's not doing what Mickey Rourke was doing.
Yeah. As long as she's not, like, harassing everyone else in the house. It's
my God. I love gossip. I can't help it.
No, I like... That's the weird is I really do like gossip, but at the same time, like, when it's a show that's like like as far as like reality TV, I guess like when it's like when I'm thinking of like the Real Housewives or like the Kardashians, I'm like I don't care. Like I'm like I don't like when it's just like, oh, this is my life. It's like you're not that interesting. But as soon as you're like, but what if we played a game? Now I'm like, now how do the people play this game? And then like, oh, this person did that. Like that I really like.
I also like when it's celebrities that you don't know as well. It like and it shows their true colors or at least it could never show their true colors, but like closer to it. I find that really interesting.
It's also really funny when those celebrities like at one point were hot shit, and so they go in and they're like, everyone must like love me and know who I am, and then like they go to like the testimonials, they're like, who the hell is that guy? Like who? Like what? And then they have like the crash out that's like, I'm done, and it's like
I was the hot shit.
Yeah, and everyone's like, ooh, that, ooh. Like that is like some of the most embarrassing like that you can do.
Well, sorry for that tangent, but it's important.
Anyone out there who's really into reality competition television like loved that little chat. But
all right, next question to see how badly I can do.
Could humans live on Jupiter?
Yes.
No.
It's too cold, isn't it?
It's a gas giant with no solid surface.
So you'd probably explode.
You'd just fall through the planet.
Did I get any of those? Oh, wait.
Yes,
I got the dandruff one.
Yes.
What color is the black box on airplanes?
Orange.
Correct. On average, what is the maximum number of friends a person can stay in touch with? Oh my god. How did they test this?
Like 30.
150. How could they possibly test that? I would explode if I had 150 friends. I can barely keep up with the 10.
That's like a single like year at our high school was like 200 people. That's like I keep in contact with everyone I went to high school with. Which like I know that's not the friends they're pulling from, but like
no, but seriously, that's insane.
That amount of people, yeah, that's crazy.
Why do you get more hungover the older you get?
I mean, I guess like your liver does just get older with you, but I don't think that's the answer it's going for. And I've heard this answer before, not from this game, but like from like in general. Because when you get old, your body's like, fuck it, we gotta drink. I don't know.
The proportion of water in the body decreases with age, which changes the body's metabolism.
You raisin out as you get older.
Mm-hmm. Shrivel. Do elephants in zoos have a longer or shorter life expectancy than elephants in the wild?
Longer?
Shorter. African elephants live roughly 3 times as long in the wild.
Oh, damn. Oh, that's sad.
I know.
I wish I could be friends with an elephant. Every time I see a video of them, I'm like, it's 6-4, so it's not a runaway.
That's true.
I know this.
Oh, good.
What is the definition of a serial killer?
Someone who, it's like a certain time frame and a certain number, has committed 3 or more murders in the span of 5 days or 8 days. One of those. Something like that.
I'll give it... Yeah, you have the important thing. It's 3 or more people at different times. The cooldown period is the...
Oh, okay. I could have sworn there was like a specific time frame, but yeah, I knew it was 3 or more.
Have you heard the rumors of a serial killer in New England?
In New England, yeah.
Which, like, probably, but like...
I mean, there's serial killers everywhere. Yeah. It did freak me out at first, but then I was like, it's Connecticut.
Yeah.
It's not that far, but...
But unless things in Massachusetts would have to start piling up before, it's coming, like, you know.
Yeah. Unless he just skips Massachusetts. And I'm saying he just has...
Statistically, you're probably correct.
But unless the killer...
I'm just saying that if it is a serial killer and they can drive through all of Massachusetts without having the tendency to kill somebody, then, like, maybe they're the most sane person out of anyone.
That's true. Someone in Mass is going to trigger them.
Simply by just driving.
Yeah.
Although, I don't know, they're from Connecticut, and I've heard that Connecticut drivers are infinitely
They are.
So maybe they'll go to Boston, like, Massachusetts, and be like, oh, this is refreshing. And
maybe they still won't kill anyone. So true. Really, we might just...
Who knows?
It might go to New Hampshire. We'll see.
I don't think, like, from what I heard, because I don't think a lot of places are reporting, but, like, there was, like, the big news thing that came out. I think, like, there were just, like, 2 bodies found that aren't particularly... Like, they just found 3 bodies.
Yeah.
And then everyone is like, that That gotta be
I
it.
know. It's hard because that's always how it is. It's like, you want to believe they're connected. Well, no. Well, police don't want to believe they're ever connected. But the public always does want to believe they're connected. But honestly, I would rather have someone investigate a potential serial killer rather than not investigating a potential serial killer and just assuming it's one person killing each of these. No, one person killing multiple people, killing each person. Well, actually, I don't know what's better or worse.
I think what puts it off for me for why I don't think it's a serial killer, I think that maybe two of them are connected because I think they said that they found two women's bodies.
Yeah.
And just based off statistics, it's probably a guy who's killing women that fit a description. And I think it was two of the victims had Turner syndrome. And so I'm that could be the start of something there.
Yeah.
But then the third body they found, I think, was a dude's body, which is not entirely off the table still, but it's
it's more rare.
It would be the MO shifting to a particular to another, unless he's on to the game I'm just gonna kill whoever. But
right.
that is odd for serial killer. So it's
it could just be a mass murderer situation, which is also rare.
Yeah,
I don't know.
It's one
in
of
that circumstance, it's rare, but
it's one of those things where it's based on what I know, I would potentially believe it, but I'm also I don't think we have enough to jump off into the deep end of serial killer yet.
I agree. I'm always skeptical because we've had stuff like that before.
Yeah, I mean, New Hampshire has the most prolific female serial killer, so it's not uncommon for New England.
It's because New England's so woke like that. New Hampshire has to have the female serial killer.
Yeah, leave it to New England to be woke.
Oh yeah.
Next question.
Moving on.
That was the first question. Soho is an area in Lower Manhattan in New York City. What is Soho short for?
South Hoboken? No.
Close.
But Hoboken is in New Jersey, so no.
And anything's legal in New Jersey.
Have I ever told you about the time I had to drive to New Jersey? I didn't have to, but I did. It was my friend Hannah's. She was moving to California, so we were all we're gonna go visit her in New Jersey and have one last hurrah. And I don't really travel. And I was I don't want to take the train because trains kind of freak me out. But also planes freak me out. I'm not going to fly to New Jersey. It's so close. So I was I'll just drive by myself to New Jersey. Okay. And the other people that were going, they were all coming from, I think they were all coming from New York. Maybe one person was coming from Maine. That was the trajectory. The Maine one would have taken a while, but she's done it before. So anyway, I was I have never driven that far, I don't think, in my life. It took about 5 hours to get there. It was a long drive. Going there was not that bad. I, had to stop to pee a couple times, stopped at the Dunkin' Donuts, whatever. Driving back, I left at the ass crack of dawn because there was a snowstorm warning in New Hampshire. So, but I was well aware that by the time that I got home, it was going to be a full-fledged snowstorm depending on the time that I, actually left. So I was I'm going to leave earlier than everyone else. So a ghost in the middle of the day, I woke up and drifted out of her house and was it was 5 a.m. I was no one's going to see me go. It's going to be fine. And so I left and it was pouring rain. Torrential downpour rain in New Jersey. And something else I learned was that you can't pump your own gas in New Jersey. They do it for you.
Oh.
It's unsettling because when I'm in a rush and so many other cars are apparently there at 5 a.m. in New Jersey. So I was okay, this person's pumping my gas, whatever. Torrential downpour again. I'm driving. All of a sudden, I enter New York. It's sleeting. It's hailing. I'm in, again, treacherous territory. I take a wrong turn. I'm in the middle of New York now. No clue where I am. And then I make it to Massachusetts. Wait, no. Yeah. Somehow I ended up in Massachusetts, which, you wouldn't think. Oh, no, you would. Yeah, I would end up in Massachusetts. But it doesn't seem I probably go. Yeah, it was a whole thing. So when I was driving through Massachusetts, yeah, I'm trying to think. It was Mass or Connecticut. I don't know. I can't think now, but
I think it's easier to get to New York to Connecticut. So, but also Connecticut and Rhode Island might as well just be South Massachusetts.
I definitely didn't go through Rhode Island. I know that. But I don't remember if it was Massachusetts or Connecticut, but at one point it started snowing and I was like, okay, now I'm in the real treacherous zone. And it was fine at first, but then it was not fine. And all of a sudden, it was full-blown snowstorm, and you couldn't see the car in front of you. It was that bad. So we're on the highway, and I had to pee so bad. And I was like, I'm going to have to pee my pants. But eventually, like, I was crying. I was so, like, desperate.
Which, like, fair enough.
It sounds dramatic saying it was the scariest moment, but I was horrified that I was going to have to pee my pants in the middle of a snowstorm in the middle of the highway. Like, I did actually make it to a Dunkin' Donuts, and I'm impressed with myself about that. And by the time I did get back to New Hampshire, it was indeed a full-blown snowstorm. And that was my story of New Jersey and why I'm never going back.
In my head, the cherry on top would have been when you got to New Hampshire, it's done snowing.
No, but like it was so bad. Getting off at exits, you were like sliding everywhere. It was so bad. It was horrible.
I've only had to like drive in a snowstorm like once, and I think it was like I wasn't like even going that far. I like had like just gotten home like towards like the beginning of it, but I like even that short time, I'm like, I think I'm gonna like slide off into the woods.
It's so scary. Anyway, sorry, that was the longest tangent of my life. Okay.
Soho stands for South of Houston.
What? Why?
Houston Street.
Oh.
What percentage of people who are shot with a firearm survive?
75.
Close. About 80%. How many airports are there in the world?
In the world? Why can't it just ever be the U.S.? Or I'm going to go with 263.
Around 44,000.
This is the language question all over again. Wow. That's not good. Not good. How long does champagne stay bubbly after opened if the bottle is not resealed?
48 hours.
Approximately 24 hours. Sorry about that. What percentage of all the scientists who have ever lived are alive today?
Well, I would argue that everyone in their own right is a scientist if you really think about it. So 100%. No.
Well, after us playing that game, I wouldn't count me in there.
So 99 point infinitely repeating 9. How many? What a stupid question. First of all, what do you mean? What percentage of all scientists that have ever lived are still?
We're never getting sponsored by the creators of this game.
This is like yeah, they didn't teach you in school because like what the hell is this question?
Because they shouldn't.
20%.
Approximately 90%.
But like, what constitutes a scientist? We move on.
Do you burn fat if you sweat in a sauna?
No.
Correct. How long ago was the term America first used?
500 years.
Correct. Well, it says over 500 years ago, but I'm going to give it to you. It was first cited in 1507 on a world map.
Oh, wow. I know saunas in America.
That's all I know.
How many people in the world have their birthday on the same day as you?
Well, again, a relative question, but...
Actually, all the other days are 364 individual people have their day, and then on your birthday, everyone else has the same birthday.
Right. How many people?
In the world have their birthday on the same day as you?
3,000.
Approximately 19 million. Close.
Close. I really thought you were gonna say like 19,000.
you were Glenn close on that one. At what age does a lamb become a sheep?
5. No. Let me start again. 2. 2 weeks. I don't know.
The answer is 12 months. Although... This sounds like the setup for a joke where it's at what age does a lamb become a sheep? At its bar mitzvah. Is it true that if you leave a tooth in a glass of Coca-Cola overnight, it will completely dissolve?
No.
Correct. What bone in the body is most broken frequently?
Broken most frequently?
That's the one.
A finger. Your phalanges.
Good guess. It's your clavicle, your collarbone.
Oh, God, I hope I never break that. That sounds terrible.
Would you like to know why?
Sure.
If from my
Is it
understanding,
because it's fucking babies again?
No, but it's because when you put your arms out, like to stop something, like an impact, the force is like taken by your clavicles.
That makes sense.
Typically, so like that's where it will break, as opposed to your arms. I know I studied bones, but don't quote me on that.
No, that makes sense.
I studied them after the break.
Can a man get breast cancer?
Yes.
Yes, it is most common in men aged 60 to 70 years. If you were to weigh all the food that you eat in your lifetime, how much would it weigh?
I hate these types of
Same.
questions so much. It would weigh nothing. I'm snatched.
So true.
300 pounds.
Approximately 50 tons.
Like, I guess.
Yeah.
I suppose. Well, if we're counting salt as food, then like all the paprika on my food that adds up.
Which freezes faster, hot or cold water?
Hot water.
Correct. How many rolls of toilet paper does one person use in a year? Again, a relative question.
Depends on how much you be shitting.
True.
If you're the Charmin Bears, a lot.
It depends on how much food you eat in your lifetime, I guess.
Yeah, it depends on the 100,000 pounds rolls in a year. I feel like maybe in a week. 52. One a week.
Approximately 50, so I'll give you that.
That's 11.
That makes 11. Asante wins again.
Yeah!
Again. Wow.
That puts me above the leaderboard.
It does.
Is this what it was like from the first episode?
It was. It felt euphoric, and I'll never know that joy again. This is... You're only going to get a subdued version of me now, because I'm upset.
The light in Nicole's eyes is
has
gone.
left. It's left.
Until you come out on top again, in which case it'll be reversed.
And the sun will come back out. Blink again. Blink once if you need help, and the sun blinked, yes. All right, well, you win. What was this game called again?
What they don't teach you in school, or things they don't teach you in school. Right?
Things they don't teach you in school might never sponsor us, but that's okay, because Asante won anyway. And...
Wouldn't want to be sponsored by a game that I can win.
But I guess that's it for this episode. I forgot to add this in the last two, but we actually have an email set up where if you want to send us trivia questions or suggest games that we should play that we could get off of eBay or something. I don't know. I don't really... Or send them to us. When we get rich and famous and set up a P.O. box, then you can send us the games. But I'm going to give the email so you guys can send us your little emails. Don't send us weird things, please.
If we get sent weird things, we will block you.
Yes, and you'll never be seen again. That is an open thread. So the email is thequestionanswerpodcast@gmail.com. So send us what you think our games should be. We obviously have a list, but can always take suggestions. And if you have random trivia questions or fact-checking that you want to fact-check us on, go for it.
Yeah, if you send us like a really cool trivia question, maybe we'll read it at the top of the episode.
Ooh, or maybe we'll add a bonus little question at the end of an episode.
Yeah, a little Final Jeopardy.
Oh wait, I do have a bonus question. Do you know what the so like you know how Google does their little Google thing of the day thing? Mm-hmm. Do you know what day it is? Like what it's celebrating today? It actually ties in well to our science game that we played last episode.
Is it National Katy Perry Goes to Space Day?
It might be later. If she makes it back. If she didn't fly into the sun. No, it's actually National Quantum Day.
Oh.
Yeah. That's the bonus question. If you want to be our bonus question at the end of the podcast, please email us your answers.
Alternatively, if you fact check us as well, we'll also, at the end of the day, we do want to be right.
Yeah.
And some of these questions were a little weird, but so like if you have some tweaks, we're more than happy to.
Or if we say something offensive and you
or if you're gonna cancel us, and if you just like send us an email, it's like, hey, you're canceled. That would be
right in a kind way.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that will be it for this one.
Yeah. Thank you for joining us here at the Question
Answer
Podcast.
And we'll see you next time.
So long.
Bye.